Oh, it's kicking off again. All this stuff's coming out as usual. Every day something bloody happens, doesn't it? All right, folks, buckle up because today we're diving into a pretty serious story. It's about a big name in Britain radio. Someone who for decades literally shaped hip-hop culture in the United Kingdom, and how he now, because it's a fella, usually bloody is, finds himself at the centre of a shocking allegation, serious allegations. We're talking about Tim Westwood. If you don't know who Tim Westwood is, he was, what I remember him as, is he had a show on telly, which was massive, called Pimp My Ride. He used to do, he used to get cars and pimp them up. He wasn't just that, he was a radio DJ as well, amongst other things. He was a big name, he was massive at one point. And yeah, some serious things have come out. So what happened? What was he accused of? What does it mean? Well, we're going to go through it together, break it down, and I'll also be asking you what you think, because if you know who he is, and I'm sure you've heard of him if you're as old as I am, Tim Westwood, where did it go wrong? What happened? Who is he? Who's the monster? We're going to find out the mask behind the monster, because they all wear bloody masks, don't they? You're going to find out what he's been up to, because he's a very naughty boy, and you're going to find out starting right now.
Analyzing the news.
Okay, so this is him in the corner. Well, in the corner, you can see him up there. He's there. And that's one of the covers to Pimp My Ride, which was a show back, I think it was the late 90s, something like that. I used to watch it, to be fair. And I used to enjoy it. It was massive. But anyway, we know a little bit about him so far. Tim Westwood. I never actually liked him, to be honest. He used to act like a kid when he was a fully grown man. But we're going to find out what's actually going on. So it's all about this British radio name, and we're going to talk about Tim Westwood, I can't pronounce his bloody name, and what happened to him, what is going around. So again, guys, just stick around, because we're going to find out all the information you need to know, and all that's coming up. So let's first start. Who is he? Who is this Tim Westwood? Well, Tim started off as a local DJ, and he climbed up to the big leagues shortly after, because later on he joined Capital Radio, which is a massive radio station. Then in 1994 he moved to BBC Radio 1 and Radio Extra, and he did that for nearly 20 years. So this is a big player in the showbiz world, which is all coming out that they're all monsters, aren't they? So lots of influence there, didn't he? If he was reaching millions of people in his audience when people were going to work, and he had the radio on in the background all day, he'd be on talking away, and people liked him, or he wouldn't be doing what he was doing. But people obviously had some allegiance to his entertainment methods, but it was all a lie. A wolf in sheep's clothing, and that's what they all tend to be, isn't it? Wolf in sheep's clothing. They're never who you really think they are. When you hear big names like radio DJs, what comes to your mind? Is it power, access, influence? Drop your thoughts in the comments, we want to know, because celebrities are dying, mate. Hollywood's dead, which is a good thing, because all these people who are in the spotlight, these celebrities, they're gone. They're dinosaurs. No one cares. No one worships celebrities now. You'll get the few odd person, but most people just think they're just humans. They don't buy into the game. They don't play the game anymore. They're just humans, flawed, almost narcissistic, dark humans, and we've been inviting them into our living room for all these years. That's why it comes to a shock, because we feel like we know them, but the truth is we don't know anything about them. We just know what's presented to us. So let's look at these allegations that surfaced in 2022. News broke that several women accused him of misconduct. I'm not going to say the word. I'll just call it S. And claims were made that he abused his position in the music industry to take advantage of young women in their late teens and early 20s. You got to remember, he wasn't a young lad at the time. He's not a young man now. He's like touching 70. He's not a spring chicken. And back then when he was there, he wasn't in his 20s. He was a middle-aged man then. It's like that Jimmy Savile, whatever his face is. He was an old man as well, wasn't he? But the BBC later admitted it fell short. That's what it felt short. There was missed signs and they didn't act. They always say sorry or we didn't know after it happened. If you're going to employ someone, you're paying them lots of money, sometimes millions of pounds a year, you need to know everything about them, everything. And they do. They have minders, they have management teams, they have security. Someone knows something, but yeah, apparently not. But what do you think? Let me know. How does an organisation miss warning signs for such a long time? Have you ever seen anything like this in your industry? Do you work in an office? Do you work as a professional? Can you see misconduct or an underbelly or something sinister happening where you work or the environment that you're in? Because it's not just in showbiz, in the music industry, it's bloody everywhere. But it seems to be that showbiz and the entertainment world is where people look to worship and idolize, and with that comes great power. So these DJs and these actors have these massive egos and people look up to them and worship them. It's true, isn't it? It's usually young girls. So this is formal charges, because in October 2025 the charges were laid, and here's what he's been charged with. Now 4 counts, get on this, 4 counts of R, 9 counts of indecent assault, 2 counts of SA. I don't want to spell it out for you, but SA. The alleged offenders span should I say, from 1983 to 2016. That's a long time, and it involves 7 different alleged offences from women, and some of them is as young as 17. So the kids, at the time he's old enough to be their bloody granddad. Do you know what I mean? Disgusting. But they get away with it, don't they? They always get away with it, but they're not getting away with it anymore because the world's changing. Let me ask you a question. Did you realise these kinds of allegations take decades to surface? What does that tell us about reporting and power dynamics? In other words, no one says anything. Nothing comes out until 10, 20 years later. I'm like, what? Why is that? Why? Tell me. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. Something's off. Something's off. What I want to do, I want to get this up for you. Let me have a look. I want to get this up so I can share the article with you that's actually on the news. Let me find him. Tim Westwood. I don't even like him. They're all perverts. Absolute perverts. Now I'm getting this from Sky News at the moment. So let's look. Let's get the source. Let me get it up for you so you can see what I can see, okay? Just give me a second, guys. This video's not edited. It's not scripted or anything like that. So you have to bear with me. But it's better that way, isn't it? It's better that way because you know what you're hearing is the truth. So now, actually, does it come on the screen? Give me a sec, guys. Do I have to accept? I don't want to accept it. No, I want to decline it. Sorry, mate. I just go accept. Frickin' heck. I don't want to accept it, but this is what I mean. They're now saying if you want to watch the news, listen to the news, You have to accept the terms and conditions. Right, here we are. We don't want that. Right, can you see that? Hopefully you can. I'm not even going to know if you can or you can't. What is this rubbish that's coming out? I don't want to see that. See, this is what the news does to you. You go and look for something, and then it puts you somewhere else. You'd be looking for one thing, and then something else bloody appears. That's how it works. Anyway, I'll come back to that in a second. Right. So what are your thoughts on it? Let me know. Come on, guys. Because the specifics of this case are very descriptive and detailed. Here's some example alleged incidents. Just to give you a sense. So in 1983, an incident involved an assault on a 17-year-old girl in Fulham, the Fulham area, and that's in London. 1995, there was an R of a woman, aged 17, in London, plus an indecent assault on the same person in the same time frame. Back in 2010, there was another R of a woman in her home in London, and then in 2010 there was an SA, and that was in Stroud in Gloucestershire. 2016 there was an SA assault on a woman in her home, and that was in Finchley area of London. So this is all like the London area. It's like a bloody devil's playground, isn't it? Crazy. Absolutely crazy. So it's mainly based in London with all this activity happened because that's where he's based. There's a wide span of decades, multiple locations, not just London. But let me ask you a question about that as well, if you don't mind, because like I said, I want to know your thoughts. It's not just about me telling you about the news. It's about us sharing the news, analysing it, so we can get to the bloody bottom of it and find out exactly what's going on. So my question to you, please put your comments below. Does the fact that the alleged incidents span that long change your view on the case? And if so, why or why not? So what I mean by that, say something horrific happened today, right? A crime was taking place. It could, let's use this for an example, an assault, an S assault on someone. What would happen? That would be reported to the police and it would be investigated immediately. But not in this case. What's been happening, the incident was sent to the police, nothing happened. It's only now 10 years later they're talking about it. Now it's gone to court. I'm like, why is that? Does that affect the outcome? Because, well, it's only 10 years ago, it don't matter now, does it? But the people who are involved, the people who victims in this, they've had to live with that every single day for the last 10 years. Can you imagine that? They can't just let go of it. They can't just not think about it. It will literally take over their life. It's called trauma. If you ever experienced any sort of trauma in your life, it could be slight trauma. It could be that you're involved in a car accident. It could be that something happened that frightened you and it's made you scared. That's trauma. Did you know when you were born, you were only born with two fears? One was the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. That means any other thing that you're afraid of is a learned behavior. In other words, it's a trauma. I don't like flying. I don't know why. I just really don't like it, but I travel all the time. I go on a plane at least 10 times a year and it terrifies me. I'm like, why? I don't know. Something's traumatized me. There's some sort of association in my brain that makes me scared of flying. But most people are scared of flying. There's a lot of people, and you sort of get on with it. But when you've been someone's physically imposed their body onto you and assaulted you, and you feel powerless, can you imagine what that would do to someone? They didn't ask for it. It was forced onto them. It's an assault. What should happen to these people who do that? Who've ruined that person's life, ruined that person's family and friends' life, because it's like an echo. It just gets bigger and bigger. The implications affect everyone around it. Horrible, horrible, horrible man. Horrible people do horrible things, and he's one of them. There he is then. And now this picture was taken years ago. And literally years ago. So he doesn't look like that now. I will get a picture of him, a more recent one. But let's carry on talking about this predator idiot. So now he didn't enter a plea at this stage. He was granted conditional bail. That means, okay, we'll let you out. You've committed a crime, but we're going to let you out on the condition that you don't do it again. And this conditional bail was he must not contact the prosecution witness. In other words, the person who's made the allegation against you, don't contact her. If you do that, we'll let you out. And you say, why would he contact her? Because he could bribe her, he could threaten her. You shouldn't let him out anyhow. If it's true and there's enough evidence to keep him in, they shouldn't let someone out. If someone's capable of that, it's like a leopard. They don't change the spots, do they? Something like that. And he didn't do it once. The allegations were enormous. So the next significant court date, which is set for, I think it's the 8th of December in Southwark Crown Court, so the legal process can start moving. So let me ask you another question. Please comment below. I want to hear it. For you, do you think bail conditions are enough in cases like this? And if so, why? And if not, why? Imagine there's someone, looking at this perspective, imagine there's someone you care about, like your mother or your sister or your female friend, someone, your partner, your child, someone you know. If someone did this to them, would you say, oh, just let them out on bail? Or would you want them to be locked up? Probably more than that, wouldn't you? You'd want the worst, harshest thing to happen to them, because that's what they deserve. Them people did not deserve it. No one deserves that, but it happened to them, and it's not really on, is it? It's horrific, absolutely horrific. So like the impact on the BBC and culture, let's look at that. How's it affected that? Well, this isn't just about one person. It raises big questions about the culture, the power, the influence. The BBC review found it missed a pattern of behaviour and more should have been done at the time. So why didn't you bloody do it? Yeah, whatever, right? Staff reportedly know or suspected, this is what they said, they knew and they suspected things, but the system didn't act effectively. That means there was people who knew something was off about him, but they didn't want to say anything. Why? Because they were in fear of the job. It's always the same thing, isn't it? That's what controls everyone, fear. I want to say something, but I'm scared, because if I do, if I get involved, it's going to affect me, and I don't want to get involved or anything to do with it. So they sit back, lie down, and just let it happen. And that's not a good thing, is it? Should you do that? Should you be conforming and just watching it happen? Should you? If I ever see anyone get assaulted, and I've seen it a few times actually, and I always get told don't get involved, but I'm one of these people that I cannot just stand there and watch. I ain't watching. I was in Spain and I saw this man being horrible to his girlfriend. They were having a domestic, but he was shouting at her and he grabbed her wrist, and I didn't like it. And there was hundreds of people there. No, everyone was just like, oh, a bit of drama. I can't just stand there and watch. So I got off my chair and I put my hand on his chest. I said, right, mate, go away. Then next minute, I'm almost fighting. And then people said to me, you shouldn't have got involved. And maybe they're right, mind my own business, but I'm not having it. I'm not having someone grab a woman like that. You don't own her, mate. You don't do that to people. But what are your thoughts? What do you think? What do you think about organisations? Should they do things differently to prevent this kind of thing? Or should they just carry on the way it is? Nothing's going to change. What should you do? Let me know your comments. We want to know. I want to know your thoughts, what you think. Let me know. Remember, your thoughts matter. Your opinion counts. Because by talking about things like this, we get to the bottom of it, don't we? Shyness gets you nowhere. That's what they say. And it's true. Shyness gets you nowhere. If you don't say anything and keep your mouth shut, nothing's going to happen. It's like a bully, isn't it? If no one says anything, you can get away with murder. But if you do say something, you say, no, I'm not putting up with this, then they can't get away with it. True? True. So what are you going to do about it? If you see anything like that, are you going to step in, be the hero, do the right thing? Let me know in the comments, because most of us are scared. So what happens next? So the first trial he's facing, the trial will be based in sufficient evidence, which has been found. So don't worry, this isn't hearsay. It wouldn't go to court if they didn't have evidence. So obviously he's going to get sentenced, but the extension of his sentence is all to do with the prosecutor, the barrister, the lawyers, because there's going to be there people there who are defending him and say, oh, it didn't happen, but there'll be significant evidence. But then they'll say, well, why wasn't it brought to our attention earlier? And say, well, it was the BBC or whoever they were working for. Well, why didn't you say anything? Oh, we didn't know. It's ugly, but the people who suffer the most in all this is the victims. But we need to remember that everyone is entitled to a fair trial, and that is true, right? Everyone's entitled to a fair trial. We must avoid prejudging. It's like me, I'm doing it now. I'm saying all these negative things about him, but I don't know the full story. But I know that if it's gone to court and there's enough evidence to state that, evidence, not hearsay, strong evidence, then it wouldn't have gone to court. So there must be strong evidence to say that something has happened. But again, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. I need to know what you think. After hearing everything, what do you think needs to change in the media industry regarding behaviour like this? Now, things like YouTube, like me, or we're independent, aren't we? We're just telling you the truth. We've got no agenda. We don't answer to the powers above. But like the BBC, the ITV, they've got shareholders, advertising companies. There's big wigs. When I say big wigs, it's just basically money involved. And they have to cover up and things like that and shut it up because they have to keep it all squeaky clean, even though there's obviously corruption in there. But again, after hearing this, what do you think needs to change in these big media companies like the BBC, the ITV and all that? They are dying. I don't even watch telly. I can't remember last time I watched BBC, ITV, Channel 4. Broadcasting telly, I don't watch it. I watch Netflix, I watch YouTube, I watch Prime, but I won't watch mainstream telly. Does anyone watch it anymore? Really? The world's different now. People are bored of it. People want realism, don't they? They want the truth. They don't want to be lied to all the time. They just want genuine realism, not this fake bullcrap. So my take on this, my personal thoughts. Yes, it's disturbing how long this seems to have been going on for. I remember a time in my life that none of this existed, but it did exist. It just wasn't brought to fruition. So what do you think about all this, guys? Have you got a favourite public figure that you idolise or idolised and then found out something about them and you were disappointed and there was stuff hidden out about this person? When it came out, it affected you. I remember when Philip Schofield, I love that guy, man. When I was a little kid, he was on the telly, so it's like I felt like I knew him for 20 or 30 years, and then he come out as what he did, and you're like, what? Because you think you know them, because you see him on the telly, and that TV is in your home, you feel that you form a relationship with them. Now, you could look at us and say, well, we're just stupid, it's just TV. But it doesn't feel like that. That's why they call it television programming, because it programs the unconscious mind. In other words, we're sitting there relaxed, eating our tea, we've got the telly on, and these people are on the screen, and we build like a trust with them. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Is it our fault? Probably. But still, the BBC, the ITV, they have a duty of care. That means they should make sure that the people that are presented on their programs, these TV presenters, actors, DJs and all that, they should really know who these people are before they're putting them on in front of a camera, in front of the whole nation to adore and appreciate. But they're all coming out now, aren't they? And so boring in one sense, because it's dying. But it's not about them idiots who commit these crimes, these ego maniacs. It's about the victims, because no one ever talks about the victims, because the people who are affected by it right this second now, their mind's completely traumatized, and it's a horrific thing to go through. But guys, thanks for watching. So if he was your idol, this Tim Westwood, I wouldn't be looking at him in the same way again. I certainly won't. And to be honest, I never liked him anyway, because I used to think he was very childlike. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, I'll see you later. Take care of yourself, and God bless.